I'm Fabiola Branches, and I'm pleased to share with you my findings on the research I've been carrying about how the three main branches of the government and how a bill becomes a law. So I hope you're going to learn more about this, to learn more in this video.
Judiciary power, executive power, and I think legislative power.
Judiciary power, executive power, and the legislative power.
The three main branches of the government are executive branch, legislative branch, and judiciary branch.
Legislative, they compose, draft, and makes laws, while judicial power, they punish someone who doesn't obey the laws, and then executive power, they enforce the law, they put into action what the laws requires to do.
I don't know, but I know something about judicial power. I know a little about the judicial power is for judging.
Legislative branch is in charge of creating laws and changing existing ones. So whereas executive branch is in charge of signing laws and pardons people. So furthermore, judiciary branch is in charge of deciding whether the laws are constitutional and can overturn rulings by other judges. As I said, executive branch is in charge of enforcing laws. So the head of the executive branch is the president, and the president is voted every 4 years, and he needs to have at least 35 years old and have lived in the US for at least 14 years. So the president is in charge of or is responsible for appointing all the heads of all executive commissions and federal commissions, also signing bills, promoting the diplomacy with other nations, and signing international treaties and issuing executive orders and so on and so forth. So the system of checks and balance is a system established so that the power is shared between the three branches of the government. So it means that the system is built that no branch should have or could become too powerful. So each branch is stopped by the other two branches in different ways. So for example, the president may veto a law passed by the Congress. So at this time, the bill is sent back to the House of Representatives along with the reasons for the veto. So they vote, and then they vote again. But again, the Congress can override that veto. So this means that if 2/3 of the representatives and the senators support the bill becomes a law. So that's all about the checks and balance. So it's generally to share power between the three main government, or to share the three main branches of the government.
Actually, I don't remember well, but I can name Green Party. Yeah. Green Party is a federal.
I know only two.
The struggle between a powerful federal government and the state sovereignties was a major threat in the play of the two-party system from the very beginning. So in the past, there was no two-party system where in the US, where George Washington was the only president without a party. So the Republican Party were born from the abolitionist movement in 1856. So briefly, in 1864 was the beginning of the two-party system of Democrats and Republicans. So in the beginning, the Republicans have been in North and pro-business, and the Democrats are Southern and more populist. So the third parties put pressure on candidates from major parties, and they can also influence the elections by taking votes away from a major party candidate.
By voting by assembly, by voted by voted by assembly.
A bill become law in different process. There are one way the member of parliament they draft a bill, then they bring it to the general assembly. They go through voting, and then if it passes through the majority, it goes to the president, and then the president sign. It becomes law. And when the president rejects it, so they revise it, and then just vote it for the second time, and then become the law.
Actually, the law begins as ideas which may come from a representative or from a citizen. So the citizen contact their representative to discuss ideas, and if they agree, they research ideas and write them into bills. So at this time, the bill needs a sponsor. So it means that the representative talks with other representatives in order for them to support it. So if the bill has a sponsor and it is supported by some of the representatives, so it is now introduced to the US House of Representatives. So it means that the representatives place a bill into a hopper. So the bill goes to committee members in order to review and research um, and revise the bill before voting on whether or not to send the bill back to the House floor or tower of the Capitol. So when the committee approves a bill, it is sent or reported to the House floor. So which means that the bill is ready to be debated by the US House of Representatives. So actually, so they discuss and explain why the bill should be agreed or disagreed, and recommend changes. So once the changes have been made, the bill is ready to be voted on in the House of Representatives. So if most representatives say yes, so the bill is certified by the clerk of the House and sent to the US Senate. So once the bill is in the Senate, it goes through the same steps it went through in the US House of Representatives. So they also vote for it. If most Senate say yes or yeah, the bill is now ready to go to the president. So once the bill reached to the president, so he can choose to do nothing about it or to refuse to sign, which means to veto the bill. So at this time, the bill is sent back to the House of Representatives along with the reasons for the veto. So they vote again, and if two-thirds of representatives and senators support the bill becomes a law. So the third choice of the president is to sign and pass the bill. So this is when they say that the bill becomes a law. So it means that the bill is a law if bill has passed in both the US House of Representatives, so and the US Senate, and has been approved by the president, or if a president veto has been overridden, so the bill becomes a law. Thank you so much for your kind attention. So I hope you learned a lot from this video.